For most people, silver is still just that quiet metal they ignore while chasing stocks, crypto, or the next hot trade, but the numbers tell a very different story. Over the last 30 days alone, silver has surged more than 34%. In 6 months, it has climbed over 120%. In just 1 year, it is up an astonishing 186%. Zoom out further and the picture becomes impossible to ignore. 233% in 5 years, and more than 835% over the last 20 years. That is not noise. That is not a short-term spike. That is a long-term signal that something much deeper is happening in the global financial system. While headlines focus on daily price moves of a few cents, silver has been quietly exposing the slow erosion of paper money across the world. Every percentage point you see here is not just silver going up. It is a measurement of how much purchasing power currencies have lost over time. From the US dollar to the Pakistani rupee, from the Turkish lira to dozens of other global currencies, silver is priced everywhere because it acts as a universal yardstick. When currencies weaken, silver doesn't panic. It simply reflects that weakness back to us in cold, hard numbers. Most investors miss this because they stare at short-term charts, daily candles, and headlines designed to distract them. But when you step back and look at silver across decades, across currencies, and across economic cycles, you begin to see the truth. This is not a speculative move. This is a structural repricing. In this video, we are going to cut through the hype and the fear and look at what silver's long-term performance is really telling us about money, inflation, and the future of purchasing power. Because once you understand that, you'll never look at a silver price chart the same way again. When we talk about silver's performance, the biggest mistake people make is focusing only on today's price instead of the journey it took to get here. A 1-cent move today feels meaningless, but that tiny number sits on top of a massive long-term trend. In just the last 30 days, silver is up more than 34%, a move that would be considered extraordinary in almost any other asset class. This kind of acceleration doesn't happen in a vacuum. It reflects a shift in investor behavior, where people are no longer comfortable holding only cash or paper promises. They are looking for something tangible, something with history and utility. Silver fits that role perfectly because it is both a monetary metal and an industrial one. As demand increases from investors seeking protection in industries that physically consume silver, price pressure builds fast. Short-term traders see volatility, but long-term holders see confirmation. This recent surge is not random excitement. It is the market beginning to recognize a reality that had been ignored for years. If we zoom out a little further, the story becomes even more powerful. Over the last 6 months, silver has gained more than 120%, and on a 1-year basis, it's up over 180%. That kind of performance doesn't just beat inflation, it completely overwhelms it. Compare that to savings accounts, bonds, or even many stock indexes, and the difference is striking. What this tells us is that silver is no longer moving like a sleepy commodity. It is behaving like a capital preservation asset in an environment where confidence in currencies is slowly eroding. Every major currency on that long list you saw is losing purchasing power over time, and silver is one of the mirrors reflecting that loss. When silver rises across nearly every currency simultaneously, it's not silver getting stronger in isolation, it's money getting weaker. This is why silver rallies tend to feel sudden and aggressive. Once the move starts, people rush in, not because of greed alone, but because they fear being left behind as their cash buys less every month. Now take that same perspective and stretch it out over multiple years, because this is where silver's message becomes impossible to ignore. Over the last 5 years, silver is up more than 230%, and over the last 20 years, it has gained over 800%. That is not a speculative spike. That is a long-term trend driven by structural forces. Industrial demand has quietly exploded as silver became essential to solar panels, electric vehicles, electronics, and medical technology, while mine supply has struggled to keep up. At the same time, governments around the world have expanded money supply at historic levels, debasing currencies in slow motion. Silver sits at the intersection of those two pressures, rising demand and weakening money. This is why long-term holders often talk about silver not as a trade, but as stored labor and energy. When you measure silver against decades instead of days, you can see that its price performance is really a report card on global monetary policy. Now let us connect all of this to what investors around the world are actually feeling right now, because silver's performance is not happening in isolation. When you look at silver priced in dozens of global currencies, the picture becomes even more revealing. In countries facing inflation, currency devaluation, or capital controls, silver has not just gone up, it has acted as a financial lifeline. While the numbers may be quoted in US dollars on major websites, the real story is that silver is rising because fiat currencies are losing purchasing power. This is why silver charts look strong not only in USD, but also in euros, yen, pounds, and emerging market currencies. It's not that silver suddenly became more valuable on its own, it's that paper money became weaker everywhere at the same time. This is a critical distinction most mainstream analysis ignores. At the same time, volatility is increasing. That is making many people uncomfortable. Sharp moves up and down shake out weak hands, especially those who treat silver like a tech stock instead of a monetary metal. But historically, volatility has always been the price of admission for assets that protect wealth during monetary transitions. Every major bull market in precious metals has been violent, emotional, and confusing while it was happening. Only in hindsight does it look calm and obvious. Right now, silver is behaving exactly as it has in previous cycles, where confidence in financial systems began to erode. What makes this moment different is scale. The demand is global, the supply constraints are real, and the debt levels across governments are unprecedented. Silver is no longer just a hedge, it is becoming a signal. A signal that the financial system is under stress, that trust is thinning, and that real assets are being repriced. Ignoring that message because of short-term noise could prove far more costly than enduring a little volatility today. As we move into the final layer of this discussion, it becomes clear that silver's long-term performance is not driven by hype, headlines, or short-term speculation, but by deep structural forces that are still accelerating. Industrial demand alone is reshaping the silver market in ways we have never seen before. From solar panels and electric vehicles to advanced electronics and medical technologies, silver is not optional, it is essential. Unlike gold, most of the silver used in industry is not recycled efficiently. Once it is consumed, it is gone. That creates a quiet but powerful supply problem that paper markets cannot solve with contracts and derivatives. At the same time, mine supply is struggling to keep pace. New silver discoveries are rare, production costs are rising, and many silver mines are actually byproducts of other metals like copper and zinc. That means even if silver prices rise, production cannot be ramped up quickly. This creates a slow-burning pressure beneath the market that only becomes obvious when physical shortages appear. And when they do, prices tend to move violently, not gradually. For investors, this creates a fork in the road. Those who focus only on short-term price swings risk being shaken out by volatility and manipulation. Those who understand silver as a long-term monetary and industrial asset are playing a very different game. They are not trying to time every move. They are positioning for a world where real assets matter more than promises on a screen. Ultimately, silver's multi-year performance tells a simple story. It has outpaced inflation, outperformed most traditional assets, and preserved purchasing power across decades. Whether prices pull back next week or surge again, the larger trend remains intact. Silver is not just rising in price, it is reclaiming its role in a changing financial world. The most important thing to understand is that silver's story is bigger than any single day, week, or price level. The charts, the percentages, and the headlines all point to one reality. Silver has quietly been one of the strongest long-term performers in the financial system. Through inflation, currency debasement, and repeated market cycles, it has continued to protect purchasing power when paper assets struggled. That doesn't mean the road ahead will be smooth. Volatility is part of this market, and sharp pullbacks can happen without warning. But volatility is not the same as weakness. What matters now is perspective. Short-term noise is designed to shake confidence, while long-term trends reward patience and understanding. Silver sits at the intersection of money and necessity, valued both as a store of wealth and as a critical industrial resource. That combination is rare, and it's why silver continues to matter in a world drowning in debt and financial uncertainty. The real question isn't whether silver will fluctuate tomorrow or next month. The real question is whether fiat currencies, endless money creation, and rising global demand can coexist without consequence. History suggests they cannot. And when that reality fully sinks in, silver will already be far ahead of the crowd.
Hello friend, welcome to my YouTube channel. I hope all if you are doing great and having an amazing day. My name is Noor Baqi and I am really excited to start this new journey with all if you. You know this channel is not just about videos, it is about story and ideas and inspiration. I created this channel to sharing something positive every signal week. Sometimes we all need little motivation, and sometimes we just need a good story to smile again. Decide exactly what this channel is all about. You find understanding stories, real life experience, and powerful lessons that again change the way you think. I be uploading new videos regularly. So if you don't want to miss any of them, Make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel and press this bell icon so you get notification whenever you post something new. Your support means everything to me and to great we can build a community full of partnership, learning and good vibes. So sit back, relax, and let us begin this amazing journey together. Thank you so much for watching and welcome once again.